Welcome to Israel Yellow Nation, the show that brings you the stories behind Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, the EuroLeague champion. We are now at the new basketball arena in Jerusalem, where the biggest rivalry in Israeli basketball is about to take place. Maccabi Tel Aviv meets Hapoel Jerusalem in the State Cup final. The Yellow fans are really hoping to take this trophy back home with them. But first, can Maccabi win this classic showdown?
The Israeli basketball final match between Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv and their main contender Hapoel Jerusalem was dramatic even before it started. A winter storm hit summery Israel, and the game was postponed for 3 days. When the storm was over, Maccabi and the Yellow Army made their way to the beautiful new arena in Jerusalem for what was labeled as the Clash of the Titans, the Israeli Cup final.
How important is this title for the club?
It's only important that we beat Hapoel Yerushalayim and in their own house for the first time.
It was the first time the city of Jerusalem had hosted the Cup final. The arena was full and the atmosphere electrifying.
It's a special moment, a special really preparation. You know that you have one chance to win something that you're going to be remembered all your life, and you know, to write history of Maccabi was always special, and every time you have a chance to do something like this, you have to grab it.
Let's try to guess who's going to be the MVP of the game.
I think Brian Rendell.
It was the first Cup final for Ruby Rivlin as president of the State of Israel. Rivlin is one of the most beloved people in the country, a true sports fan and a Jerusalem native. But it seemed that this time, his heart was in Tel Aviv. Driven by their loyal, electrifying fans, both teams got off to a super fast start. Jerusalem felt at home and opened up the first lead. Devin Smith and Jeremy Pargo kept Maccabi close to Hapoel, 22-21 to the Yellows from Tel Aviv at the end of the quarter. In the second quarter, the stars of both teams got hot. Dante Smith with a vicious dunk on one end, which was only a preview for the huge dunk by Joe Alexander. And those two slams were nothing compared to one of the classics from Pargo to Tyus. Maccabi kept their lead throughout the period. Alexander scored the last basket of the half, after which the game had a completely different script. That's how the third quarter ended. A crazy three by Marquise Haynes. Maccabi won that period 29-14 and left the Reds behind, 73-55 after 30 minutes. Maccabi's defense strangled the Reds' offense, while the Yellow offense buried every attempt by Jerusalem to get back in the game.
We talked about this on halftime, that we need to stop the easy points, and even we are shooting a shot immediately to sprint back to defense. And third quarter was significant for us. I think Devin was on fire.
Devin Smith.
The last quarter was one of Yellow celebrations on the court and in the stands, and Red frustration at the other side. In the end, Maccabi won 94-76 and brought home their first title of the season.
How long can you celebrate?
One day it's enough, believe me. One day to celebrate. Tonight we're going to celebrate. Tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to be a practice or not, but we cannot forget we got on Thursday Panathinaikos at home. That is another huge game in the EuroLeague.
Facts to be remembered. First title for Goodis as head coach. 20th title of his career for assistant coach Gershon. 42nd cup for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. And 27 points for Mr. Always Efficient Devin Smith, along with the game MVP title.
You know, I just wanted to win the game, you know, this tournament. You know, all I'm trying to do it's helped them win games, you know, and it's a team. You know, we win as a team, we lose as a team, you know. We're going back to Tel Aviv with the cup as a team.
Everyone was saying that we are winning the cup and the titles because we are playing in Tel Aviv Arena. So we came to Jerusalem, we won in Jerusalem, but the important thing is how we came to play with all our heart.
Next on Israeli Yellow Nation, Devin Smith's MVP season.
In his first 3 seasons in Maccabi Electro Tel Aviv, Devin Smith was considered to be one of the team's most important players. But often his contributions couldn't be simply measured by statistics. Now that changed during this season when the veteran forward took on an even greater role for the defending EuroLeague champions.
My name is Devin Smith, number 6, all-purpose forward from Maccabi Tel Aviv. I am 31 years old. I grew up in Newcastle, Delaware. I started out my career as basically a shooter.
טרפר מחטיא, והרבע הזה מאחורינו. יואו! איזו שלשה של דוד סמית משלושת רבעי מגרש! בלתי יאומן!
If it's home, you know, I have a routine. You know, I go home, take a nap, get up, get some coffee, shave my head, because it has to be clean. Once I get in the car, now comes the hip hop and the rap. Right before I get to the gym, I play the motivation song. And then when I get to the gym, there's no more music. I go in the locker room, have another coffee. I thought about going to culinary school after I was done with basketball. I've been following different, chefs on, Instagram or whatever, and I try to make what I see and I like. Recently I tried honey sriracha fried chicken, and it turned out pretty good, and everybody liked it, so that was a plus. The Israeli food scene here is really good. Whether I'm going to get some hummus, some tahina, or some falafel, whatever, I eat all that. I think food here is really good, but there's a plethora of quality restaurants, whether it's sushi, Italian, steak, Mexican. Hey. Coming to America, I can watch it any day of the week. Favorite scene coming to America, they had the Black Awareness Rally. And Randy Watson is about to come out on stage. But before that, they're taking the money, they're passing the money around. Guy puts a chicken bone in the money plate. He said, donation, donation.
I remember this.
Summer 2011, me and my wife and some other friends of ours, we went to Ethiopia and to Kenya. We visited, some orphanages with, a lot of kids, and some of them were all, HIV positive. So, an experience like that, it's all about, it's really humbling. You see the situation that a lot of people are in, and it's a lot of stuff that you take for granted, that, they would love to have, just a simple pair of shoes, just somebody to love them or to hug them, just going there, I think it really, touched us more than it touched them. Over my my time here, I kind of, adapted to, the mentality of the club, just of, the fighting spirit and, to never say die, I want to be a part of something that, 20 years from now, I'll be remembered for that. I think I've done that, over my time here, especially, having won the EuroLeague. Sometimes it took me a while for me to believe it, It didn't set in for a while, I mean, we had all the celebrations and everything, but, after the season was finally over, and you got to sit down and relax and look back, and you're like, man, we really did it.
Next on Israeli Yellow Nation, the EuroLeague's final stretch. Everyone is looking for tickets to the top 8. The battles are becoming bitter, and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv wants to defend their title again. The Yellows set off for a tough away game in Istanbul against Turkish team Galatasaray and their hungry and hostile fans. Maccabi started well. Tyus on defense and Haynes with a great finish gave Maccabi an early lead against the Turks, who were missing their star, former Maccabi player Carlos Arroyo, who had instead Arslan, Guler, and Young, who gave a great second quarter that ended with the Turks holding a 49-44 lead. In the second half, the tension mounted as Maccabi's excellent forward Devin Smith came into the picture, and with buckets from all over the court, put Maccabi up by 1 heading into the last quarter. The fourth quarter was especially aggressive, with Landsberg scoring from downtown, and with 1:30 left, Maccabi led by 4. With 4 seconds left, the Serbian forward Zoran Erceg went to the charity stripe with the score 85-84, and with a chance to win the game. But luckily for the Yellows, he missed his second shot, and the game went into overtime.
To give Galatasaray the lead against the defending champions, no! And now they have a chance to win it, Maccabi. Pargo from half court, only just off the mark, and we are heading to overtime.
At the start of the extra period, the teams exchanged buckets, and the tension spiraled even higher in the arena. With 11 seconds to the end and the score tied at 94, Tyus made a huge block that put the Turkish crowd off balance. After a miss by the Turks, Jeremy Pargo got the last chance to win the game.
Final seconds here with the ball in Jeremy Pargo's hands. Takes the 3, Pargo for the win! Jeremy Pargo from downtown to break Galatasaray hearts.
Jeremy Pargo does it again. At the last second, giving Maccabi Tel Aviv a great victory in Turkey. 97-94 to the Yellows. The following week, German team Alba Berlin came to Tel Aviv. Maccabi controlled the first half thanks to a great passing game, the primary beneficiaries of which were Brian Randall and Nate Linhart.
Because you don't want, you are just in that, and I said don't panic, and you panic. Stop, go.
The German coach lost his temper, and the Germans came back with tough defense and iron discipline. At the half, Maccabi led by a single point. Alba opened the second half with a 7-0 run, and from that moment, Maccabi was forced to play catch-up. Frustration was showing on the faces of the players in yellow. In the fourth quarter, a great 3 by Jeremy Pargo tied the score at 53, but the Germans responded immediately with a basket by Alex Renfro that ended the story. A huge upset in Tel Aviv as the Germans won it 66-59. The week after, Maccabi hosted longtime rival Panathinaikos Athens, a strong contender for a ticket to the EuroLeague Top 8. In the first half, the game plan of Maccabi's coach Guy Goodis was to run at every opportunity, and so they did. Haynes, Randall, and Tyus really shine in situations like that. The half ended with Maccabi leading 38-30. During the halftime break, Maccabi honored one of their former stars, David Blue, by inducting him into the Maccabi Tel Aviv Hall of Fame. In the second half, Panathinaikos, who was an excellent three-point team, began to show what they could do. Veteran point guard Dimitris Diamantidis and Nikos Papas exploded from the outside arc and kept the Greeks in the picture. In the fourth quarter, Yogev Achayon responded with 2 3-pointers of his own. But a triple by Fotsis cut Maccabi's lead to 1 with 2 minutes left in the game. Maccabi's forwards Devin Smith and Brian Randall always show up for work at money time. Smith with an offensive rebound and Randall with a dunk wrapped up the game with a 73-70 victory for Maccabi over the Greeks. A week later, Maccabi flew to Serbia for a tough game against Red Star Belgrade. It became clear right away that this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, as the Serbians ran to a quick 6-0 to the joy of the home crowd. Maccabi recovered, and 2 3-pointers by Haynes and Linhart at the end of the first quarter made it 20-18 to the Yellows. In the second quarter, the 7'4" Serbian center Boban Marjanovic got into the picture, and with excellent plays at both ends of the court, gave Belgrade a 38-34 lead at halftime. Maccabi came out focused in the third quarter, with Alex Tyus scoring under the basket and the excellent Nate Linhart leading Maccabi on a 12-0 run and giving them a 59-54 lead at the end of the third quarter. Maccabi Tel Aviv would rather erase the memory of the fourth quarter. Marcus Williams and Charles Jenkins, 2 of Red Star's talented foreign players who played for the Golden State Warriors, went into action and with baskets from all over the court, led the home team on a 20-0 run over the EuroLeague champs. Maccabi looked like they were running on empty. In the end, Belgrade won 89-76. Despite that last loss, Maccabi Tel Aviv is still in second place. Real Madrid is fixed in first place, and Barcelona is close to the Yellows in third place with the same number of points. Maccabi Tel Aviv is approaching crunch time, with the first 4 spots in the group getting a ticket to the EuroLeague Top 8, where anything can happen. New York, the Big Apple, the greatest metropolis in the world, played host this year to the most spectacular attraction in basketball, the All-Star Weekend. For the first time in the history of the NBA All-Star, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, EuroLeague champions, played an active role. In an intra-city tournament for players under age 14, in which 200 teams from throughout the city competed, the youth team of Maccabi Tel Aviv also took part.
We are expanding. We're taking our Maccabi brand to the US. It's a great honor for us, to have to be the first international team to play and to take part in the All-Star. And as I said, it's a part of our strategic plan to enter the US market.
Maccabi Tel Aviv!
For the young players, the All-Star experience and the chance to meet the greatest stars in the world was especially exciting.
It's a lot of fun for us. It's new stuff to do. I think it will make the team better. The sky's the limit for us. Oh, Steph Curry was signing my shoes. See that? Though.
Exciting.
Yeah, very. We saw LeBron, Ginobili, all that stuff. We've been in the All-Star dunk contest, the three-point shot competition. A lot of fun. We saw Steph Curry knocking 28 shots, and it's really fun to be in New York here.
Well, first of all, for the kids, I'm sure they were excited. I mean, it's a big thing to be part of the All-Star. And for the organization, it's a great honor, to take part in the All-Star and to have our kids represent us here. It's a big thing for us.
Without a doubt, Maccabi Tel Aviv and the NBA will continue to work closely together in the future.
Well, as you know, there's talks about the globalization of basketball, and every year it becomes closer and closer, and there's from talks, there's actions. We played against NBA teams last summer, and we're going to play next year against NBA teams, so it will take time, but there's no doubt that every year the communication, the cooperation between the NBA and the European League, the EuroLeague, will become tighter.
Well, party is over in the Jerusalem arena, and the trophy is making its way to Tel Aviv along with the yellow fans. And as the players are going to be celebrating, you can keep following the team's special features on our YouTube channel, Twitter, and Facebook. Till next time, Israel the Yellow Nation. See you soon.